Alright, we are ready for Gumby and the Astrobots. Welcome everyone, thanks for watching. My name's Gilgatex and I speedrun bad games poorly. So this is Gumby versus the Astrobots. It's a GBA game. Why don't we just get straight into it? This is the beginning of a little mini GBA block. Ninja 5.0 is next. Then Mario vs. Donkey Kong. But you have to start with this crap first. Are we ready to go? Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. So in this game, basically there's a professor, and he is just too lazy to walk from one side of his lab to the other. So he programs our friends the Astrobots to do his bidding for him with a remote control. And wouldn't you know it, the blockheads come along, steal the remote, and take control of the Astrobots. And while Gumby and his friends are all having a nice picnic, someone makes the mistake of saying, "Man, nothing ever exciting ever happens here. I wish something exciting would happen." And wouldn't you know it, right on cue, here comes the Astrobots and scares everyone into running away. And they each run into one of these storybooks. Pokey goes to the Wild West, the rest to be determined. So first thing we do is we go save Pokey. And there's a lot of tutorial text that we skip. Here's where we learn that you can push springs, even though this is the only spring you're going to have to push the entire game. Look at me, I'm already making mistakes. And like most platformers, you can hop on enemies. And this is one of the 3 upgrades you get. This one lets me turn into a ball. You use that to get through small areas here. And because this is a marathon, I'm not gonna risk this jump here. Because it's death if you miss it. Now, in regards to speedrunning this game, the ball itself makes you go faster, so you want to try to stay in the ball as much as possible, but the ball is very hard to control as well. And you can still get hurt when you're in a ball. And there I go down a pit. The music is amazing in this game, and I'll fight anyone that says otherwise. I had someone tell me if you screw up in a marathon, you just blame RNG. So that's what I'm going to do. That last death was RNG based. Usually takes 2 hits by hopping to kill someone, so you'll barely see me kill anyone. Alright. And here's the first boss battle. Levels go pretty quickly. This one's an old-timey prospector who has decided that Pokey is going to become his. However, he says, if I can beat him in a minecart race, then Pokey, I can keep Pokey. Otherwise, Pokey will become his forever. Now in this level, the R and L buttons speed you up. So what I'm doing is I'm constantly mashing L and R to stay in a perpetual state of speed up. And there's actually 2 of these Minecraft kart levels. That's actually a boss level that takes 2 stages to finish. You can actually die in this level. There are pits that kill you if you fall down them, so you have to be a little careful. And if you look really careful, you'll notice that minecart is actually Gumby himself. And we are done with the Wild West. Now we go over to the Tales of the North Pole. Once we get there, Gumby says, "Oh, Pokey, it's so great that you joined me." And Pokey's like, "Nah, it's too cold. See ya." Alright, here's the second of the upgrades. It lets me do a speed boost while in ball form. You can also hit enemies while in speed form. And it really helps from going up ramps. And you'll notice that Gumby is fueled by pie. The ice creams are collectible, but pie is your health. Gumby likes pie, apparently. Now, because this is a marathon, you're probably going to see me taking... Oh, if you can hit that ramp just right, you can skip that little dialogue there, but I missed it. So now we get our last upgrade, which is the double jump. Oops. Yeah, so like I was saying, you'll probably see me picking up more pie than I normally do in a speed run, just because I want to be safe, make sure I don't die, and really miss my estimate. Every time you get one of those green flags, though, it's a checkpoint. So even if you die, you never have to wait very long before you get back to where you were. Speed through there. And I just missed the platform. And the platforms are kind of weird in this game. Some of the platforms are level timed, and some of the platforms are screen timed. As you can see, I'm already almost out of health. So some platforms, if you don't get there soon enough, you have to wait a whole cycle. And then some platforms are there exactly where you need them to be every single time. Take this pie just to be safe. Take that pie too. And there's the end of the ice level. Now we're on to the boss. This is probably the easiest boss in the game. In stereotypical fashion, the boss of the ice level is a Yeti with big horns. You basically store Pickle because Pickle can breathe fire, and so Pickle can heat his baths up. So he doesn't want to give Pickle back because he likes warm baths. And you can, with a double jump, you can skip back over. I think the game intended for you to fall down and climb all the way back up, but because of that, you can just skip right ahead. Yes. Gotta love the safety pies. Yeah, that is one of the 2 levels where you could actually die. Realistically die if you're unlucky. Without the safety pie. Okay, so this is basically the Count Dracula's area. And you earn the final upgrade, which lets you bounce along walls. This is another one with some platforms. Some of them are screen timed, some of them are level timed. And that was not an intended strat, but it actually still gets me to where I need to go. Frankly, I thought it was dead because I've never actually fallen down that pit before. But luck is on my side today. Alright, and if you're lucky, you can do that jump. And I made it. Alright. We do a mid-air transformation to wall jump. Do that a couple times in this level. Okay, that was almost bad. That was not one of the ones I wanted to jump on, but I jumped anyway. In fact, that was the only zip line I didn't want to jump on. This one is important to get the jump, and I missed it. And I died. That is one of the jumps where if you miss it, you have to wait like an entire cycle and a half for the platforms. That's another annoying thing about this wall thing, is that often you will get stuck against a wall when you don't want to be. Yeah, let's see if I can get it this time. Actually, because of the level timer and the fact that I died, it would have been misaligned anyway. Another reason that's a really important jump to get the first time. Yes, I think this game was sponsored by the Sugar Lobby. Oops. So I forgot. These are the only walls in the entire game that you can't wall bounce off of. They specifically turned it off so you have to ride that platform up. Alright, now we are on to Count Dracula. Kind of feel bad for the guy because basically he just wants an audience for his singing. But his singing is awful. Just awful. And you're actually going to hear some of these awful sounds that he makes. This is an auto-scroller level. All we have to do is get through it without dying, which is very easy if you just kind of fly up here. So he makes these pies and notes fly up, and you're throwing water balloons at him. And if you hit one of the notes with a water balloon, it makes just this awful, awful noise. And this is completely RNG based. You could just float through the entire level and not get hit once. You could float through the entire level and get hit 5 times and die. So you do actually have to pay attention. But if I got this far without getting hit, I could probably just float through the rest. Doesn't matter how many times I get hit at this point. Well, this is a good time to plug my channel. If you're interested in watching more GBA games, especially bad ones, you can follow my channel, Gilgatex. I am doing a GBA challenge. I'm trying to get through all of the North American GBA games. That's how I find some of these games. Typically, if I find a game that has been speedrun by others, and it's a game that I didn't actually mind playing, I'll give it a try. I'm the current world record holder for this game by about 30 seconds. Later on in the week, I'm going to be running a game called No Rules Get Fat. Note that's fat, P-H-A-T, which of course everyone knows stands for Pretty Hot and Tempting. It's a skateboarding game. It's unique. If you were to buy the game itself in box, it would actually come with a little mini finger skateboard that you can skate to. It's an interesting game for sure. If anyone's familiar with the runner NPC, he was the former world record holder for that before I took it from him. Alright, we finally got through. Now we're on to the African Safari. This is going to be the shortest level of the game. There's just one platforming level and then a tiny little level where you have to climb a tree. rules that is going to be Sunday morning. Hope everyone can join me for that. And that game is so finicky. If there was going to be a game to miss estimate, that would probably be it. Go down here so we can go up. Lost my momentum. Again, we go up. Stick, stick, stick. Okay, this is a part I really don't want to mess up on, so I'm going to take it a little carefully. Falling down that pit really loses a lot of time. It's one of those run killers. Again, we fall down so we can slide up. There's another spring that the game anticipates you to push, but you don't have to. There's quite a few of those in this game. Alright, it's like, where is she? There she is. And that is it for African Safari. Shortest game of the level. First level of the game. Onto the Magic Castle. And this is where Gumby's parent Ma and Pa are waiting. This level's fairly long, there's just a lot of platforming. A lot of enemies. Gumby in Mortal Kombat would be awesome. The game is nice to tell you which holes you actually die by falling down by putting up that nice little skull and crossbones there. There's one of the places where if you're not careful, you'll get stuck to the wall. If anyone's interested in running this game, there's only 3 people on the leaderboard list. There's plenty of room for improvement on my world record. And there are actually no submissions for a 100% run. So if you really like the game, you can go for 100%. Ooh, that was close. That would have been a bad place to fall down. Alright, Castle 2. Very similar to Castle 1. A little straightaway here, you can really speed through. There's another spot where they expect you to move the spring, but you don't have to. Safety checkpoint there. Alright, we're almost to Ma and Pa. And the wizard, the evil wizard who wants to do experiments on him. For those of you just tuning in, though, this is not Sonic the Hedgehog. This is Gumby versus the Astrobots. I could see how you think it was Sonic, though, since I go into a ball in speed. So, this boss you try to destroy by removing a platform underneath him. Except he just keeps warping away. It's almost like he doesn't want to be defeated. Alright. This one we purposefully walk up there because we hit a stop point. Then we have to wait for this guy to go down so we can jump over him. The switch is hidden up here. And this time, he doesn't see it coming. And he falls to his death. Kids, cover your eyes. And that's actually a spot that could be falling down if you're not careful. Alright, on to the final level. Attack of the Astrobots. This is the longest level in the game. We're finally to the Astrobots' final level, to try to figure out why they started attacking us all of a sudden. Because like I said at the beginning, the Astrobots are our friends. In fact, when they first showed up, everyone's like, hey, the Astrobots are here, why don't they join our picnic? But they were like, destroy, destroy, destroy. Ooh, that was almost bad. Every single other ball shot you want to jump as soon as you get there, so my brain decided to have a little brain fart there. I think I'm gonna miss this, yep. Didn't quite get that. This is one of those platforms that's on a level timer that you really have to get there quick enough, or else you miss it. Here's a little shortcut. Just follow down the pit with all the skulls and crossbones. Alright, in this one you want to stay in a ball. Hit that 5 times. Because you actually hit it faster if you're in a ball. And I couldn't quite get that jump. Try that again. There we go. A lot of shortcuts right there. There's another level timer platform that I just missed. Exterminate. Wrong franchise. Get that just right, you don't actually have to hit that switch. Another spring they expect you to push, but you can just jump right up. Down we go. Slide down here. A lot of tubes to go through on this level. Now sometimes there's a guy right here, and I haven't quite figured out what triggers it or not. You know, this part can be a little difficult, because there's often a platform above your head, that just barely above your head, that you can't see, that can block you from jumping to the next platform. But I got through it relatively unscathed. Thread the needle. Thread the needle again. Didn't get it that time. Becomes a little game of pinball. I have to be a little careful here because I may have to take a safety pie soon. So I didn't quite thread the needle like I was supposed to. Yeah, this is one of the longest levels, and it's especially one you don't want to die on. Okay, we're gonna wait for him to pass since we're low on health. If I had a little more health, I would have iframed through him. Just hit him and iframe through him. But since this is a marathon, I'm being a little careful. We're gonna get this. Well, that was supposed to be a safety pie, but we got hurt on the way there. It still should be okay, though. Again, this part you can jump all the way across and just bounce on these guys, but again, because I'm low on health, I'm being a little careful. And there's just such a long way without a checkpoint that I'm getting the safety pie. speed tube here. I gotta love the bass line of this music. Alright, and we made it to the final boss, which is the mother of all Astrobots. We have to hit him 4 times with what looks like a Pokeball. Hit a switch, makes the Pokeball fall. And he throws mini Pokeballs at you. And you have to go over to the other side. Hit the switch, repeat. Man, it's not letting me up there. There we go. And just in case you ever lose too much health on this boss, there are 2 pies off to the left. Last hit, and we just missed it. That's unfortunate. So we gotta do it all over again. Hey, the ball's still there from last time. That's interesting. Plenty of health this time. Shouldn't be a problem. There we go. Time ends when the credits start. He basically has a moment of clarity, and he says, I'm going to remove all remote control receivers of all Astrobots. Everything will be fine. And then we zoom in on the professor. Everyone's just like, oh, that nutty professor, he's probably still back in his lab. And that's time. So we were about 2 minutes behind a world record. But that's Gumby versus the Astrobots. Again, if you like GBA games, especially bad ones, give me a follow. I'm trying to get through all of them. I've gotten through about 168 GBA games so far. That's how I find some of these games. Also, check me out Sunday morning. I will be running No Rules Get Fat. That's fat with P-H-A-T, which is a gem of a horrible game. I currently hold the world record on that. That is actually going to be a race between me and NPC, who is the former world record holder of No Rules Get Fat. So that should be a lot of fun. Come join us Sunday morning. Till then, thanks everyone for watching. Since we're running a little behind schedule, I'm just gonna pass it off to the next guy.